very, very eerie and creepy, but yeah, it does happen. And I bet you when all this happens, we're going to have maybe a big maybe rainstorm, and we'll have mudslides. So anyway, all right, enough babbling here. It's about 7:48. So let me see if there's anybody else that wants to get on the earlies. This is NY6L in Hesperia, California, taking the earlies for the West Coast AMI net. Come now, please.
Alpha Echo 6, Oscar Papa, coming in as a guest.
Okay, it's Alpha Echo 6, Oscar Papa, is that correct?
QSL.
And your name, sir?
Michael.
Okay, Michael, got you in there. Anybody else?
WA6CAX. Handle is Bill in Vacaville.
Oh boy, I hear somebody in there really, really weak, but can somebody relay for me, please?
Like WA6CAX, that's Bill.
That's me.
Okay, very good, Steve. Okay, WA6CAX, Bill, I got that. Anybody else?
709, November Alpha 7 Romeo Hotel.
Okay, okay, I got WA7 and I missed the rest.
November Alpha 7 Radio Hotel, 107RH.
Okay, NA7RH, gotcha. Okay, anybody else? Okay, hearing none. All right. So let's go up to Michael, AE6 OP, Alpha Echo 6 Oscar Papa. So what's going on with you? And please give it to Bill, WA6CAX. And then Bill, give it to NA7RH, and NA7RH, give it back to me, NY6L. Take it away, Michael. Good evening to you.
Okay, good evening to everyone in the AMI net. I'm an infrequent visitor here, but the unfortunate events going on in Southern California motivated me to come out and see what's going on and try to see how Skip is doing down in Santa Monica area. Hopefully he hasn't been evacuated and he will be joining. But otherwise, up here in Clear Lake, Lake County, we are enjoying a pretty wet winter and no wind. So not our time to deal with what SoCal's dealing with, which is very dismaying and sad. Anyway, that's all I got here. Just want to listen and say hi to everybody and let everybody in Southern California down there on the band know that my heart explodes out to you guys. Perhaps not the best word, but goes out to you guys. And thinking about you a lot. AE6OP, Clear Lake.
All right, Michael. Good copy here. And to Hesperia, California, the high desert here in San Bernardino County. All right, over to you there, Bill. What's new with you? WA6CAX, NY6L Hesperia.
Yeah, I'm here. The copy's a little bad. I wish I had a better antenna. WA6CAX, it's Vacaville.
Steve, were you able to hear Bill?
That time, no. I'm listening on KFX, and I got a fairly clear copy when he gave his call. I don't know, Bill, if I got your call, WA6CAX, if that's correct, but it's very close. And I did hear you come back to Jay, but you were in a fade, and I didn't understand anything you said. I could just hear your voice out there. So hopefully when it's time for the net and it's your turn and you're still here, we can hear you better. Jay, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Steve. All right, okay. Last on the list I have here on the Earlings is NA7RH. Good evening.
Good evening, Jay. NY6L, I'm forgetting the call. NA7RH, stop here in the Phoenix area. You're coming in quite well here, Jay, and a few others are too, including Steve and George, of course, in the Tucson area. But hopefully you can hear me a little bit. I'm only running the 50 watts, so hopefully it's going in a little bit. But it's certainly disheartening to see all the video and the scary conditions there on the West Coast. So hopefully things get better soon. NY6L, NA7RH.
All right, Bob. Well, your 50 watts is getting out, so you're holding about an S9 on peaks over here, high desert of Hesperia here. Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking at the clock, and it's about 5 minutes till. And I wonder who will be net control tonight. And I could, we got a short list here tonight. So let's see if net control for the West Coast AMI net might be lurking. NY6L.
WA 68 CX.
Steve, we're able to hear that station?
Hi, George. WA6HCX is here. This is his night to run the net. And I don't know if I had a copy on my local receiver, but hello, George. And if you are ready to take the list, Jay can give it to you, and I'll write it down in case you can't hear Jay that good. I'll relay it to you. WA68CX KF6SYD.
Okay, Steve, very good. Yeah. Hey, Jay, we read a copy, and obviously, we have Steve as a backup. So, Jay, I'm sorry to hear about Natasha and the family. We have the same thing here. Mary has been down for a week with some nasty stomach flu type thing. So, it's going around. Anyhow, bring the top of the list. Jay, go ahead.
Okay, very good, George, and good evening to you and Miriam as well. Hope she gets feeling better. Okay, well, here's the list. Okay, got the list as follows. We got WA6JKN, and that's Kevin, WA6JKN. Next I have is KI6CSA. That's Chris, KI6CSA. Next we have KW1NG. That's Ken, KW1NG. Next we have is N6WHK, and that's Phil, N6WHK. How are we doing so far there, George?
Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Okay, next we have is KN6IYC, and that's Larry, KN6IYC. Next is KD6VWS, that's Ron, KD6VWS. Okay, and next is KF6SYD, Steve, KF6SYD. And we got two Georges here. We got Whiskey 8 Victor Golf, W8VG, and that's George, W8VG. And then we got the other George here, W6 YEC. That's George, W6. YEC. How are we doing there, George?
Okay, but the one just before YEC, give me the call again. It's the first George.
Okay, the first George is Whiskey 8, Victor Golf. W8VG, QSL?
Okay, got it. Go ahead. After the YEC, pick it up.
Okay, next is we got about 4 more left here. So we got Alpha Echo 6 Oscar Papa. That's AE6OP. And that's Michael. Alpha Echo 6 Oscar Papa. Next we have is, I think this call might be correct, I'm not sure, it's WA6CAX, that's Whiskey Alpha 6 Charlie Alpha X-Ray, and that's Bill. And we got 2 more here, we got NA7RH, that's Bob, NA7RH, and then of course last is you, George. So there we go. How do we do? WA68CX NY6L Hesperia.
It worked out fine. You correct me. Oh, the second one after JKN, number 2, KI6 Tango blank. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's KI6 CSA, Kilo India 6 Charlie Sierra Alpha. His name is Chris.
Oh, of course, Chris. Yeah, CSA. Yeah, that makes sense now. Okay, very good. And at this point, before we tune up, any other people wishing to check in to the AMI list, come now.
Yeah, Jay NY6L did not put himself on the list, so you might want to put him up there somewhere.
Well, Steve, if you insist, I put him right at the top here as our kingpin tonight, our kingpin. Okay, pretty good. Let's take this opportunity to hang up, guys, and let the world know we have radioactivity out here in the western United States. Go ahead with the tune-ups now.
Romeo Hotel, NA7RH. I heard you, Bob.
Okay, very good. Nice carriers out there, and identifications as well. Okay, won't drag this out. You've heard the introduction to the AMI net. Basically, purpose of the net is to assist, encourage, and support all the licensed amateurs operating in the AM mode. This net has been going on for many years on this frequency at typically 8, 7, anytime between 7 and 9 o'clock on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night, for the Western AMI net. And that's divided in 2 portions. Of course, the check-in portion is just the call on each station we have on the list. Request that you identify yourself, location, your equipment, particularly the transmitter. We can't hear your receiver, but we certainly can hear your transmitter. And anything else you might want to add to that. And if you want to stick around for the round table, apparently we have a decent set of conditions tonight, so we may have a round table. So let me know. And also, if you have any particular needs of parts, equipment, that sort of thing, or on the other hand, if you have some parts or equipment that you'd like to share with some of the others, let us know when you check in. So with that, your host tonight, George W6HCX. We're located in the San Ynez Valley. By the way, we have been following the tragedies in Southern California, multiple fires. We've been very fortunate here. We've had almost no wind the past 2 days. Very, very light winds. But I do have to make a comment that the fire departments have not publicized this, but we did not have that many power poles suddenly ignite fires, and I don't think we had that many lightning storms through Southern California. So the conclusion is it's possible, it is possible that we may have some really evil-minded people who get their jollies watching entire communities burn down. But that's life, I suppose, in the 21st century. Okay, with that, let me call on our kingpin here tonight on the Super Senior, which is sounding very, very good, by the way, Jay. NY6L, go ahead, Jay.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much there, George. WA6HCX, NY6LJ here in Hesperia, AMI number 1548. And yes, we're running the 8040 meter Super Senior with the D104 microphone with the K7DYY audio processor board at the base of the microphone. About 354 watts of carrier, thereabouts, and that's going into a the receiver, forgot about that. So the receive end of it is the ICOM IC71A, which I restored, and it's working quite well. And that's going into a 8040 meter trap dipole up at about 35 feet using a Palomar Engineers 1-to-1 balance. And we withstand the winds up here pretty well. And I'm looking at my weather station right now, and there is no wind here. I haven't had any wind in the past probably almost 2 hours here. I don't see anything, zero, nothing. And it's cold 40 degrees here, and it's going to drop down to a freezing 27 degrees here tonight. So there you go. And I did talk to Juan, KB6KMU, that lives in West LA, over there in the Mar Vista area. He's got a lot of smoke. He had to close up his apartment and stay put, with everything closed up. And I haven't heard Skip out here or about N9GIB, and I heard that maybe La Cañada Flint Ridge probably to be evacuated. And Skip there in Santa Monica, he lives right below Montana Avenue, north of Santa Monica Boulevard there. So I could probably maybe try to give him a call maybe tomorrow and see how he's doing. So, and same thing with Bob WA9JIB. So, yes, things are just going crazy down there, and I just wish all the best for everyone. All right, nothing to buy, sell, or swap, and I think I said AMI number 1548. And so back to you there, George, WA6HCX, NY6LJ here in a cold Hesperia in the high desert.
Okay, very good. Nice signal from the Super Senior there tonight. And thank you for checking on Skip and Bob. Both in areas that are in danger. So, and if you learn anything about it, give one a call tomorrow. I'd like to find out from either one or both. Okay, and Rick says best wishes to Natasha and the family there. Hope they get over get it over as quickly as possible. By the way, a quick question. How's the one going? Is he affected by the same thing?
Yeah, they all had their little head cold thing, and Natasha had it too, and so did Diane. I dodged the bullet for right now, but we shall see. We shall see. But I just, yeah, they all three of them had their head cold kind of type thing, and little one is doing better. Natasha is in the recovery mode, and so is Diane. So that's a good thing. George, go ahead.
Okay, very good. That's good news. Good news. I know that I had my nasty one. It lasted about 3 weeks. Really bad coughing and weakness. Anyhow, so much that everybody has our problems. And hopefully, I know Kevin does not have a problem because we all realize the medicinal benefits of garlic. And he is certainly in that environment, the garlic environment of the country. And obviously, Kevin, you're doing very, very well, and you never get sick about anything. 286 JKN. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, George. Good signal, by the way. And good evening to the net. Jay, thank you very much for taking your lead. And George, taking net control. And I want to let everybody know that I got back down in California in the matters along with Diane. I have family that lives down there. The only one we haven't heard from is my sister, Michelle. We haven't heard from her ever since they issued evacuation orders in her area. And so I don't know if she left her phone behind or what the deal is, but just we haven't been able to contact her, so we're hoping that she's okay. Other than that, worry about all those fellow hams that live in the areas down there that are undergoing evacuations and raising fires and everything else. That's a bad situation, so I hope they all do well. Okay, so I'm on the ICOM 7610 running full legal limit with the Mercury Lux. Not much to report on here other than George, you're right. I think what it was is all those classified vaccinations they gave us during the Vietnam or DNA or something, because we traversed the colds and the flus and all that kind of stuff. Don't know what it's like to have that. I think I blew my nose a few times one time. They said it might have been during the remnants of the cold. But I do have other ailments that occurs from time to time. I lose my voice. That's a good thing in most cases. But no, I don't know what it's like to get a cold or a flu or anything like that. Very, very fortunate. I have had pneumonia. I've had that before, and that's a pretty serious situation. I had that actually not that long ago. And boy, I'll tell you what, talking about trying to find oxygen to breathe, and you have pneumonia, no, it's not good. So, yeah, I remember having to get special and emergency treatment for that. But that's the only major thing that I know of that I can remember. So that's the other part, too, is what do I remember? Don't remember much anymore. So with that, I'm going to say 73. Good night to everybody. No swap or wants. No round table tonight. Just encouraging everybody to keep all of our fellow hams and the people of Southern California in your prayers. And just hope for the best. Hope for the best. And I think Steve brought it up a couple of nights ago. Maybe it was Monday night or last Wednesday night. They're talking about the rain gods. Maybe that's what they need right now is lots of rain. Lots of rain. If I could send garlic down there to put out the fires, I would. I think I can talk the Christopher Ranch in doing that. Load up all the fire trucks leaving our area. We sent some of our fire trucks from Gilroy, the garlic capital of the world, to help fight some of the fires down there. And I know there's a lot of other cities up in this area that are doing the same. Good night, everybody. Back to you, George.
Okay, Kevin, very good. My God. You know, I hadn't thought about that. Loading up trucks of garlic. What we want to do is find out any potential firebugs. And I want you to take those trucks of garlic, back up right to them, and then dump the entire damn thing on top of them so they can't breathe. That would be a blessing to all of us. And that's my prayer. Okay, next up, Chris. KI6CSA. Go ahead, Chris. Chris, are you out there? CSA?
Yeah, something was hanging up there. Sorry about that, George. W8HCX KI6CSA. And everybody on the AMI net, that's weird. That's the second time that happened with my amp. Something hung up there. Yeah, this is KI6CSA around Mission Bay. AMI number 1764. We're running our new in the shack, but not a new transmitter, but the one that I've worked on here. And it's a Viking Ranger 2. With the Bernie's D104, which I keep using this microphone because I like it so much. He really did a good job. I think he restored this microphone, but it looks like it's brand new. It's beautiful. So in memory of Bernie there. And through the SB200, looks like about 150 watts, 160 watts of carrier. Listening on our Drake 2 Alpha that YEC restored. And I love this little thing. Only I'm not listening on the receiver. It's totally worthless tonight. I have about an S9 so I'm not even using it. I'm using KFS. So I'm cheating. And George, you're coming into KFS really good. Yeah, our hearts go out to everybody up there in that fire, and especially our AMI brothers. Hopefully Skip's okay. And Bob, but we're also missing Vaughn. He's not on the net tonight. He's up there in Woodland Hills. I don't know, not really familiar with that area, but I'm worried about Vaughn and Dave up there, WJ6W in Tarzana. All those guys are kind of up in that area, I think. They're kind of close to each other. I'm not really sure. Somebody might correct me on that, but. Yeah, Vaughn's usually on the AMI net tonight. I'm a little concerned about that. And I thought about calling Bob, JIB, and seeing how he's doing. Because I know my wife was saying that they did evacuate La Cañada. So let's pray that everything's okay. Especially now he just fixed up that house. I was just thinking about that. All the work that he did on his house. Holy smokes. So anyways, let's see. No on the swap and no on the round table. George, thanks for doing the net. Sound good in the KFS. and JNY60, thanks for doing the others. It's good to hear everybody. So yeah, let's keep everybody in our prayers there and in our heart, and hope that everything's okay soon. So like I said, no on the swap, no on the round table. WA8HCX up there in, oh gosh, what was it, the area there, Santa Ynez. way up there. So KI6CSA.
K6 little green light. K6 LGL, quick visitor in and out.
Okay, I thought I heard Skip in there, and we'll call on you next. And by the way, anyone that has Dave's phone number, WJ6W, please give him a ring and see how he's doing and report it back to the rest of us. Okay, Skip, go ahead, pick it up.
I can try making a transmission, I'm not sure on that. I'm in and out. We're okay, we're not under mandatory evacuation at this time. Not mandatory, so it's a standby. K6 LG, I will see you all later.
Okay, very good. Somebody, could you repeat that transmission for me? Go ahead. I thought Skip was getting transmission, but it was fairly weak.
Yeah, George. What do I got here? Yeah, hold on a second or something. Yeah, George, KI6CSA. Skip said that everything's okay. They're not on he said they're not on a mandatory evacuation, and he's doing okay. So over to you, George. WAHCX, KI6CSA.
Okay, K6LGL, thank you very much. No, we're not under mandatory evacuation. It's a standby notice. But I do have to go. 73s, good luck to you, George, and all the others. K6LGL.
Yeah, thoughts are with you, and if you get the order, the recommendation to evacuate, follow it. Equipment and houses are not worth that much when compared to people. So our thoughts are with you tonight. So anyhow, good luck. Next up, I have W6 ING Ken. Go ahead, Ken, your turn.
Okay, thanks, George. WA6HCX. This is Kilo Whiskey 1, November Golf, KW1NG. It is my name, Ken Wing, W-I-N-G, but I couldn't sneak an I in there, but they did have a 1 available, so that's what we took when we did the vanity call. KW1NG. Here in Alpine, about 30 miles east of San Diego, up in the foothills, about 1,850 feet elevation. We did have a power shutoff, public safety power shutoff warning with the winds that we've been having, but we have not had a power shutoff in this area. However, other areas around East County San Diego and North County San Diego have been shut off because of the winds, so that they won't spark a fire with the wires that are up on poles that should have been buried long ago. But that's a different story. So anyway, we're running the 7300 tonight, IC 7300 into the SB 1000, signal 3500 linear, at about 150 watts carrier and about 500-600 watts peak, out to the 80-meter delta loop. That's tuned pretty close to this frequency, so we're only about 1.3 SWR here. Gosh, our heart goes out to everybody up in that fire area. We've been there and done that. We've evacuated once here in 2003, and in 2007 we stuck it out because we had since purchased a couple of gasoline-powered water pumps that hook up to a 2-inch fire hose. We have 2 of those, so we drop the snorkels into the pool, and we can keep our property wet for quite a while with the 30,000 gallons in the pool. And we've actually put out a fire across the street. My son did. There was a fire that was started across the street one day from a weed whacker, and he hooked up the pump and squirted across the street, put it out, and the fire department came. And, oh, he was on TV and the whole bit. They came and interviewed him, so that was pretty amazing. Anyway, no on the swap, no on the round table. For me, my number is 1-877-1877, and I hope everybody has a good evening, and prayers and thoughts with all the folks affected up in those fire-prone areas, all the folks that can't be here. Skip, I hope you don't have to evacuate, but if you do, you know, grab something precious and go. Everything else can be replaced. So, been there and done that a couple of times. All right, back to you, George. WA6HCX. Kilo Whiskey 1 November Golf 73.
Okay, very good, Ken. And before I call on Phil, share with you a number of years ago, I was emergency services person for Santa Barbara County, worked with the county fire department, and one of the protocols they had, I'm assuming it's true throughout the United States, they don't publicize this. However, on the morning of a hot, windy day where conditions are dry, they try to send patrols out by whatever means they can to spot the vermin, because they come out like snakes from the ground, firebugs, just waiting for their opportunity to start the thing. Anyhow, let's get any of them something explodes in their hands when they try that. Anyhow, Phil, WHK. Phil, go ahead, your turn.
WA6HCX, November 6th, Whiskey Hotel Kilo. You know, my heart goes out to the people up there in the LA County area with the fires. I can't think of much things worse than that. Losing everything in some of those homes I saw. And you work your life to get something, and fire comes along and destroys it. And of course, the insurance company now is going to raise all the insurances around the state to pay for that, which is kind of normal. AMI 1661, running a Johnson Viking Ranger, hammer on HQ 110, L4B about 200 watts, Johnson Matchbox, and to keep everything under control. A D104 non-amplified, watching the pattern on a 610 scope, and so far it looks fairly decent. I haven't piled it up yet. About 285 feet of wire, plus or minus, and kind of a loop configuration. Listen to all the golden tones on a nice Hammerlin speaker. Everybody is sounding beautiful. And like I said, my heart goes out to the people up there in the fires. I don't have anything to swap or trade, but I will be listing out. So back to net control. WA6HCX and 6WHK.
Okay, Phil, very good. Nice signal coming through on that one. Next up, KN6IYC. Larry, your turn. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, George. WA6HCX and the fine AMI group that are gathered tonight. This is KN6IYC, the little community of Christ. Community of quite aware of wildfire, actually, and we've experienced it firsthand here. And so like our hearts and prayers are with the people of Los Angeles, and especially in a tight spot up there, and probably casing ZTA. And there's new fires just popping up as we're speaking up there, so they're not out of the woods yet. So anyway, yeah, prayers will continue. Anyway, thanks for winning the Lieutenant George, and Jake, good for getting us all on the list and getting this thing happening. Anyway, my number here is 1815, and tonight I'm transmitting with a Johnson Viking Ranger, and I'm modulating it with a D104 microphone, amplified, slightly modified. Watching the signal on the SB610 scope and the FM30 frequency monitor. Looks like I'm 38701, so I'm not quite on frequency tonight. Signals being boosted by the GSB, the Gonson GSB 101 linear amplifier, and I'm watching that signal on my W4 watt meter. Looks like about 350 watts of carrier currently. Listening to everybody on the Hamlin HQ170 and the S200, matching S200 speaker. Let's see, inverted via 25 feet. No on the swap, no on the round table. We'll just keep it on rolling. Thanks, George. WA6HCX, back to you, KN6IYC.
Oh, I think you started back to me. Okay, very good. Very good. Nice signal coming through, by the way. Okay, next up, KD6DWS. Ron, your turn. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, thank you, George. WA6HCX. Watts of carrier, Turner plus 3 microphone. Tonight I'm listening on the MC120 microphone and scope like that. And all that's going to the W4 Drake watt meter to the SA 2040 deep kit antenna tuner, coax up to the infrared long wire. 25 feet, about 5 inches.
Okay, Ron, very good. Nice signal coming from Joshua Tree tonight. Okay, next up, Steve, KF6SYD. And when you're finished, I have a request for you. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, George. KF6SYD, Stephen Long Beach, AMI 1708. CCA AM 1000D. Oh, let's go. Okay. I tried to call Bob, WA9JIB, but his phone goes straight to voicemail. And, you know, it looks like he's probably in evacuation zone. So, you know, I didn't leave a message because I, don't want to bug him. And then after that, I did call Dave, WJ6W. And I had a nice talk with him right now. And he's not in any danger. He says that the fire is about 5 miles from him, but he's not evacuated. He's not in an evacuation zone, and there's no talk about him being evacuated. He did say that the fire's heading the other way, and he just taken a night off from the radio tonight, and he said that last night he did not join the vintage sideband roundtable because the winds were blowing so hard. He was afraid that he'd set the place on fire, transmitting through the antenna in case it blew down. That's putting fire in the wire. So Dave's doing good, and expecting to keep doing good. And I know when I used to visit No Money Mike, excuse me, we'd drive over to Dave's house. It was a very short drive, very close. So, you know, since Vaughn lives in Woodland Hills too, he's probably doing all right. I bet Vaughn's not in any danger either. You'd kind of get that impression that he's probably not that far from Dave either. So I hope that's the case. I don't have Vaughn's phone number, so I have not checked in on him. No round table tonight. I don't think so. I'll stick around and see what happens. George, thanks for running the net. And I have a special request, and I'm already doing it. But in case you're not, we need to both be doing rain dance because this is bad. Middle of January 8th, and no rain, and September type fire conditions. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this before. This looks new to me. This isn't right. So we have to put on the extra. You and I have to put forth some extra effort in that regard. So, George, back over to you. And Jay, thanks for taking the earlies. Hope you stay well. WA6HCX, KF6SYD.
Steve, nice carrier, but your audio is way down. What I'm going to do is call on a couple more and then call you back in a few minutes here. Next up, WABCG, George. Go ahead, George. You can.
Yeah, okay, very good, George. WA6HCX. Here is George of Tucson, W8 Victor Golf. Yeah, thanks so much. And we got another George after me of Lemon Grove. Yeah. Anyways, this is George out here in Oro Valley, Arizona, about 10 miles north of Tucson, the old Pueblo. And I'm hearing everybody pretty good tonight, listening on the old R390, not an A. Transmitter's a homebrew pair of 813s, modulated by a pair, triode connected, running pretty close to the legal limit, and antenna's a 160 meter V, up about 45 feet, fed with ladder line down to here to a homebrew lake toner. Yeah, we've been watching the news here on Edge, because I have a bunch of good friends up there. One of our friends, Jennifer, she and her husband Dudley, he's since passed on, but they were good friends of ours, and she has had to evacuate La Cañada Flint Ridge. And she's not too far from Bob, JIB. In fact, when I was visiting her last year, I went over and had a nice eyeball with Bob, so we hope he's doing okay. Yeah. And good to hear about the other folks in there as well. Anyways, other than that, not much going on here. We're still in the post-holiday mode, taking down Christmas stuff and that kind of thing. Anyways, let's see, AMI number 1814, nothing to buy, sell, swap, or trade, and won't hang around for the round table. George, thank you so much for running the net here this evening, and I will throw it back to you. I hope your copy will be okay. WA6HCX, W8 Victor Golf down here in Tucson.
Okay, George, very good, by the way. A little bit of QSC, but nice big all over here. Okay, next up, my God, we have a whole line of Georges tonight. W6YBC. George, Lemon Grove. You spoke down there in San Diego area. Go ahead.
All right, George, WA6HCX and the multitudes, W6YEC down here in Lemon Grove. Yeah, the band must have shifted. I could barely hear you in there, so a little shift in band conditions. Anyway, here we are. And a good evening to everybody. We're, like all of you, thinking about our dear friends in the fire-torn areas of Los Angeles. And we're running the, a little different tonight, we're running our remote system, which is an ICOM 7300 and an Alacraft KPA 500, along with the tuner, the 500 tuner. And it's right in front of me here on my computer, the remote system. So we're not down in the shack. We're dealing with a bit of a cold and wanting to get over that as quick as we can. So I thought it'd be better to stay up here at the house. So this is what we're doing, using a microphone that's made for computer work, USB. And use it on Zoom all the time. It seems to do a pretty good job. Probably hear a little bit of background noise with the room. And running about 175 on the wattage tonight. Have the carrier set at about 175 or so. And what we do is turn down the audio a little bit here, and it seems to work out quite nice. So it gets up around 300, almost 400, and 400 and some DEP. And it's been a nice operating radio when I'm not able to go down to the radio room. So that would give it a shot on AM here tonight. And thanks, George, for running the net, picking us up. No on the swap, no on the round table tonight. We're going to retire, I think, and try to see if we can overcome this respiratory issue, and day should be better tomorrow, and we'll find out how they conquered tonight all the challenges up there in the LA area. All right, everybody, have a good evening, and stay out 73. Back to you, George. WA6HCX, W6YEC, Lemon Grove.
WA6JUS.
You'll see tonight that signals are going up and down, up and down. Before I call on Mike Pete, KF6SYD, have you been able to do anything about your audio? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. It looks good on my scope, and it looks good on KFS. How does that sound?
Not streaming any signal from Steve. Next up, Mike, 86, Oscar Romeo. Go ahead, Mike.
WA6JUS was trying to check in there, George.
Mike, you out there?
I think George has lost everybody here, George.
Okay, let's try Bill. WA6CAR. Bill, your turn. Go ahead.
Well, fellas, I think we lost the band.
Yeah, but arguments on my transmitter is working.
Bob, NH7RH. Bob, can you copy?
You're booming into KFS, Steve. I'm not listening over there, but KFS.
WA6HCX, I'm hearing you okay, but these guys are transmitting over me, so hopefully I can talk long enough where it clears up. WA6HCX and the net, NA7RH. Bob here in the Scottsdale area, running the old 60 Q5 sweep tube special, and 8236 modulated by 4 1625s in parallel push-pull out of the old 1961 through 64 408RL handbook. And it's really disheartening to see what's on the news there with all the fire and especially some of the traveling up and down, just seeing house after house after house on fire. That is really scary. But hopefully things will calm down soon anyway. But great to have a net this evening. Thanks, George, for running the net, and anyway, I'll turn it back to you. Let's see now. No AMI, no swap, no round table. AMI number 1543, and I guess that's about it. Back to you, George. WA6HCX, NA7RH.
Okay, Bob. By the way, steady. Your signal is steady. K5 copy. K5 copy tonight. So apparently the band has gone somewhat long tonight. Let's see. Anyone else that can hear me, please come now. Okay, looks like we're losing the band right now, so with that, let's close the AMI net for tonight, and we have no roundtable. So, anyhow, I want to thank all the stations that participated, shared their equipment with us. Always good to hear all of these great AM stations. Anyhow, with that, we'll close the net for tonight. WA6HCX 73. Good night, all.